Hi, I'm Philippa Lomas. I am a baby wearing or sling consultant, whichever you like to call it. I am going to show you today how to put on a close, and this is a pre-tied wrap. So for anyone who is very new to baby wearing or has done baby wearing before but really wants to use a wrap and isn't sure how they'd get on with tying it and stuff, this is a really nice, easy option. So this has a pre-sewn cross at the back, and that means that the material at the front is also crossed to put baby's legs through. So you're going to want to take hold of this so that the rings, which are what you use to tighten and loosen the carrier, are in your hands either side of the cross. And the rings want to rest on your hips when you've got the carrier on. And the way you put this carrier on, if you were to gather up these rings and the shoulder straps above it so that you've got a nice hole to get your head through, so you put it over your head like a t-shirt. So I've got it around my neck now. I'm now going to take my arms and put them through the material underneath. So the material that's actually got the crosses, the rings attached to it, so that I'm getting my arm through one side, then through the other. And I've ended up with a cross on my front and the pre-sewn cross on my back. And the way you know whether it's inside out or not is that there is a little textured logo on the back, and you want to be able to feel that pretty much at the center of your back, probably round about the middle of your back. I'll turn around and show you in a minute. And that is how you know it's the right way, you know, whether it's inside or out or not. Okay, so I've now got it on with the cross at the front, and I've got material over my shoulders, and I have the rings are near my hips at the bottom. So I'm now going to bend down and pick up my baby. We've also got, I should have mentioned, some long tails, two long tails at the side, and that is what we're going to use to tighten the carrier in a minute when we've got the baby in. So I'm just going to get my baby, who is happily laying on the floor, and this is my demo doll. This is not my real baby. My real baby is a bit big for the close, because the close is from basically from birth until around about 6 months. So I'll get baby. Come on, baby, time to go in the sling. So I've got baby, and I'm going to just have a look to see, because you want to put the baby's leg through the inside bit of the cross first. So I've actually got my baby on the wrong shoulder. I'm going to move her over, and so I'm going to have my baby, because the inside of the cross is on my right side, so the inside piece of material is on my right side. I've got my baby on my left shoulder, and I'm going to tuck her leg that is nearest my right hand, so it would be her left leg, through the piece of material, and make sure that that is on her bottom. It's touching her bottom, and it's sitting just in the crease of her thigh at the moment. And then I want to just shift her over to the other shoulder, so I'm going to swap hands, and with my left hand I'm going to take her right leg and I'm going to feed that through so that the other part of the cross is underneath her bottom. Now I'm going to ease her down a bit because she's a little bit high. She was right in my face just then. So now she's in the right place. The sling is underneath her, and now we want the material to go from knee pit to knee pit. So I'm just going to move her legs into the right position, and it's not very easy with a newborn or a live baby. I'm going to put her arms up so that if she wants to suck her hands, she can have her hands, because babies like to suck their hands. it also helps to keep their airways a bit more free. I'm now going to find the edge of this material that is between my baby's legs, and I'm going to make sure I find the top edge and pull it upwards so that I've got a nice seat for baby. And I'm going to pull the material so that it reaches from her knee one side to her knee the other side, and it's flat across her back, and it reaches to the nape of her neck. And then I'm going to take, that was the inside piece, the inside part of the cross on my right hand side, and I'm now going to take the left hand side, and again I've got to find the edge, which may be a little tricky at first because when you put this on it tends to roll up and you're not quite sure which edge is which. So I'm going to find my edge. Where has it gone? Here it is. And I'm going to bring that edge across baby's bottom and to her other knee, and then I'm going to pull it up. So again, the sling is at the nape of her neck. So she's now sitting nice and comfy in the cross, and the cross is spread out. Now I can feel here that I've got a bit of slack, so there's a bit of sling that's sort of hanging around. So the way we tighten this carrier, because we want it to be nice and snug, baby needs to be close to you, not hanging down by your tummy or anything like that. She needs to be so that you can observe her, and they say close enough to kiss, but as long as baby is not in your breasts or your tummy or anywhere where you're going to smother her with anything, and her airways are clear, you can get 2 fingers under her chin, and you can assess that she's breathing well, and that's why also we put the hands up near the face when they're little, because that also helps. So the way we tighten this carrier is I'm going to start, I can feel that the slack is on this outside cross, so I'm going to go from my left shoulder, and I'm going to feel where the slack is, and I'm going to pull it down, follow it down all the way to the rings. And now to tighten it, I can pull on this tail, but if I follow the slack down, I don't just have to pull on the tail randomly, I can pull on the tail in the specific place where the slack is. So I've now taken that slack away, and the baby's sitting nicely in the cross, and now I'm just gonna give it a general tighten, so that I know it's nice and comfortable for me and baby. And then I am going to get the other part of this sling, which is, it's really a safety thing. So when you have a wrap that you tie yourself, you would tie the cross, and then you would have a piece that pulls up over the cross to stop it from opening up, just in case you lean forward and it opens up. It shouldn't, but babies are very wriggly and it could happen, so they give you this extra bit. I'm just gonna bend down and get it, and this is just a piece of fabric that they have made, and it's got a couple of drawstrings so you can draw it tighter if necessary. But basically you just put this over your baby's back, and then it's covering the existing cross, and then you take the ends and tie them behind you in a double knot or a fancy knot if you know how to do fancy knots. I don't, so let's just tie this behind me in a knot, and there we go. So now we've got our safety measure. This cross is not going to open up and lose the baby out of the sling. And now we're going to make sure everything's smooth on baby's back, which is fine. Make sure baby's comfy, and then just to make sure she's in that correct position, I'm just going to get her legs and tilt her towards me so that her pelvis is tilted in that nice ergonomic position. There we go. So baby is in, the carrier is knee to knee. The extra piece of material is over the cross and tied to the back. My baby is close enough to kiss and got her arms up. She's got her airways clear because she's got her hands up and I can get 2 fingers under her chin. She is nicely in there. If I do a little dance, nothing's going to come loose. I can be hands free, and I am comfortable. So one of the important things is that you are comfortable yourself. If you need to make any sort of adjustments, maybe you need to pull the cross down at the back a bit, you know, just do that before you tighten everything up, because otherwise you've got to loosen everything off again. So, and I've got the material spread out over my shoulders, but it's not going all the way down my arms. It is literally on my shoulders. But if you found it got in the way, you could fold it. And I'm just folding the outer edges that are nearest my arms up to the top so that it's not in your way, but it's still nicely on your shoulders, and this is nice and comfortable. And I will turn around and show you now what the back looks like. So hopefully you can see that's the back, and the pre-tied cross that I told you about is just up here, and then down there is just below it is the knot that I've tied to keep the sash in place. I'll turn it back around again. And this is it really. This is the close. So when you've got this on, if you don't want these tails dingly dangling everywhere, you can tie them underneath baby's bottom, so that they're out of the way. Or if you've got enough tail, you could tie them once under baby's bottom and take them back and tie them behind you so that they're right out of your way, and then it's all hands-free and you're good to go, and baby is safe and you are comfy and happy. So to take baby out, it's a reversal basically of all those steps that we've already done. So I'm going to undo my tails that I've just tied neatly behind my back and under baby's bottom. So there we go. They are loose again, hanging down by my legs. And now I'm going to undo the sash at the back, the extra piece of material that they gave us to keep the cross closed. That is now off. It's completely separate from the carrier. I'm just going to put it on the floor. And now we want to get baby out. So what we're going to do is just reverse what we did, and we're going to take this piece of material, starting from the upper edge, take it down away from baby's bottom, and then do the same with the other side of the cross, the inside of the cross. And now at this point you must be making sure you're supporting your baby, because the carrier no longer is at the back. So now I've got them where they were before, with the cross under baby's bottom, and it's kind of all tucked up in her knees at the moment. So now I'm just gonna, if you need to, you can loosen it. So you lift up the top of the 2 rings. I'm doing the left hand side at the moment, and I'm pulling on the top ring, which is free, and that's meant that it moves backwards and it's loosened the left hand side. And now I'm going to do the same with the right hand side. There we go, it's loose, and I can just lift my baby, and I can lift her up onto my shoulder. She's currently going onto my right shoulder, and I'm just untucking her legs from the carrier, and then I can pop her back down to play on the floor for a little while. And then it's just a matter of lifting the carrier off over your head and trying not to get it too tangled, which I have just done. So there we go. And now we're back with the rings in either hand and the pre-tied cross and we're back where we started. So I'm hoping that you found that helpful, and if there is anything that you would like to ask about it, please just drop me an email. I'm on info@thecarryinglife.co.uk, or obviously I'm on Facebook, and I've got a website, thecarryinglife.co.uk. Drop me a line on there, send me a WhatsApp. My details are all on the website, and we can definitely talk about, more slings if this one doesn't appeal to you, or we can go through how to do this again step by step, slowly, and see if we've got a sling that suits you. So I hope that has been helpful. This is the Close. There are various different ones. There is the Close Light, and that is a lighter, stretchier fabric, but it is the same principle. And there is the Close Cotton, and I was showing you today the Close Cotton, so just so that you know. Yes, so thank you very much for watching. This is my first attempt at a demo video, so if I'm out of focus or I've waffled on too long, please let me know, because I need to hear from you whether I'm doing this in a way that works for you guys.